You didn't read the last one. The last topic. I think that first of all, in Cote d'Ivoire, we had an amazing experience. The people, the Ivorians, were and have always been so passionate about football, and they showed it on the streets. At the end, commercial-wise, it was a massive success for CAF. We had a good champion in Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire, the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. So Ivory Coast was a successful story for CAF, following what we had in Cameroon.
Yeah.
But truth be told, what we've gone through, what we have seen in Morocco, is even much better than what we went through in Cote d'Ivoire. Morocco has been a massive success, albeit the incidents of the final game. But in terms of infrastructure, stadium atmosphere, general facilities, patronage by fans, organization, I think that it's been a good journey. It's been a good story. Plus, we've seen some amazing football.
Okay.
I look back, I look at the 2 semi-final games, I look at the grand finale, top level football.
Yeah.
Senegal, top team. Morocco, top team. This is the kind of football we want to show to the world, to tell the world that the African football doesn't only exist in individual players they pick from Africa to go and play in Europe, but also African countries in ourselves are good football nations, and I think that we show that quality. Again, kudos to Senegal for being champions. Kudos to Morocco for being very competitive. People have read a lot of negativity into the behavior of Senegal. I tend it the other way.
Okay.
Yes, they went a bit overboard, but they showed that they had the desire. They showed that they wanted victory at all costs, and they showed that they wanted to compete regardless of the odds they may think confronted them. And for me, that is football.
Okay.
What we saw in Morocco has had all the ingredients that you want to look at in association football. If it's about showbiz, we showed that part of showbiz.
Okay.
If it's about entertainment, it's about normal conventional football, we showed it. If it's about making money, i.e. in terms of patronage and commercialization of the sport, we showed it in leaps and bounds. Yeah. So I'm very happy about what is happening under Dr. Mosepe.
You think the 2 best teams played in the final?
Yes. I wish it would have been Ghana.
And there are incidents that nearly marred the final. I mean, you've touched on that. CAF has just released the sanctions, 600,000 against Senegal, against the fans, the players. Players have been banned, the coach has been banned. You believe it's sufficient punishment for what we witnessed?
I think first of all, I say kudos to the disciplinary committee for being very swift and for taking control of our own destiny. Indeed, nobody and everybody, nobody was happy about the incidents on that day, and therefore it was very important for us to allow our structures, our systems to take care of ourselves. And therefore, having read the decisions of the disciplinary committee, I say kudos to them for coming out. We would always differ from whether we think their punitive decisions were enough or not enough, but that's another story.
That's right.
What's most important is that the statement is very clear. Everybody needs to respect the laws of our game and to go by the laws of football, and that has been clearly established.
How did you feel? I mean, watching referee Daniel Lai at the AFCON?
First of all, kudos to him. I was super excited when I saw the appointment that he was going to be in the middle for the semis. I was like, woo, that was a big one. And especially in that particular game that had so much at stake. I believe that he conducted himself well. He's one of the top referees on the African continent. He's our topmost referee in Ghana. And we have to support him to even get better and better and get Ghana to the World Cup as a referee.
On the evidence of this answer, it means you were satisfied with general officiating at AFCON?
We had, I lost count on the number of games that we had. If I'm to side with those of us who are into data, who are into science, I would say that I was very satisfied with what happened at the AFCON. Yes, there were one or two challenges here and there, and this is the way I've always answered this question. So when I liken that to what happens in our domestic front, on our domestic front, when people talk about refereeing, I say to people, we have 306 games in the Premier League in a year, 306 games. If you have challenges in 20 games, you would say that it's been a successful season. Okay, it doesn't mean that there's not been any challenges. It doesn't mean that there's no need for improvement in certain areas. But on the basis of the evidence that we have, the AFCON was a success in refereeing or in terms of officiating.